The plan worked. Between EU members, we've had over 70 years of peace. Okay, peace is...
So 70 years of peace is special? 70 years of peace is not special! 70 years of peace is not special. That's not supposed to be treated special. We were supposed to be having at least 300 years. 70 years? My grandfather was 70 when he died. Hey guys, welcome back to Foreign Reacts. Today we're going to be doing a very interesting video. This one has a little bit of division in it, and I'm not from Europe, obviously, and I've never been there, obviously, and I have plans of going there, obviously, but there's a site, you know what, let me not say that word, but there's a individual who is causing things to happen, and I will not say anything else. So hopefully, you know, but whatever, not gonna get too much into that. But anyways, guys, we're gonna be checking out this video. It's titled, "Is the European Union worth it, or should we end it?" Pretty interesting topic, and we're gonna get right up into that video. So I did do a video kind of learn about what the European Union is, and I'm aware that one country has exited the European Union, and that's something that kind of seems interesting with the title of this video. So let's see if it's worth it in this video, and you guys can tell me if it's worth it. If you're new to Foreign Reacts, do subscribe. We do foreign reactions here, and hope you enjoy this video, guys. Let's get right into it. Do you have a gun? Let me shoot. Go.
Do you think the European Union is worth it, or should we end it? Many people feel a strong disconnect with the EU, while others praise its achievements. Everything considered, is its existence good or bad for Europeans? Since it looks like the UK is leaving the EU, we'll mostly treat it as if it's no longer part of the club.
Oh Lord!
The European Union, combining its 27 member countries, has a population of about 450 million people, making it the third most populous sort of country in the world. It's the world's second largest economy by GDP and has the biggest single market in the world. But originally, the creation of the European Union was all about one thing: peace.
Unity, peace.
Europeans are really good at war, so they were embroiled in bloody conflicts for basically all their history. A century-long rivalry between Germany and France alone cost millions of lives and ran so deeply that Germans invented their own word for it: Erbfeindschaft. After the Second World War, Europeans decided they wanted lasting peace that was not based on a balance of military power. Instead, the economies, politics and peoples of Europe should become so closely interconnected that war would become both impractical and unthinkable. The plan worked. Between EU members, we've had over 70 years of peace. Okay, peace is...
So 70 years of peace is special? 70 years of peace is not special! 70 years of peace is not special. That's not supposed to be treated special. We were supposed to be having at least 300 years. 70 years? My grandfather was 70 when he died. What the heck? No. No, not 70 years, man. Not 70 years. 70 years is not something to be celebrated. But I think it's 70 years and it's continuing. So if this was 2016, 74 to, wait, 6. So 76. 76? That's interesting. But I'm not even going to get too mad about it, because the 76 years is actually, it's not, well, there's kind of a war now. So yeah, that ended.
Great and all, but what are the European Union's achievements and problems? Today, EU citizens benefit from many individual freedoms. EU treaties and regulations ensure easy travel, cheap telecommunications, a great variety of goods and services, as well as very strong health and safety standards. European institutions are not afraid to pick a fight with companies such as Microsoft, Apple or Facebook about fair competition, tax evasion or data protection. Through the EU science programs, the European countries became a collaborative engine that serves as a hub of science in the wider world. Unrestricted travel and the right to work anywhere makes it easy to apply for funds and set up international teams of experts with the best equipment. In turn, the EU became the world leader in terms of its global share of science researchers and produces more than 25% of the world's research output with only 5% of its population. But many citizens feel distrust towards the EU.
Really?
Brussels seems far away and untransparent, technocratic and difficult to understand. It doesn't help that the EU is terrible at outreach and explaining what it actually does. This disconnect has also led to an ever-shrinking voter turnout over the decades. More transparency and accountability are desperately needed if the EU institutions want the trust of their citizens. Currently, the EU is still shaken by the refugee crisis of 2015. Some countries have accepted far greater numbers of asylum seekers than others, while the border countries are overwhelmed and feel left alone. Other countries are shocked by the initially unregulated mass immigration and closed their borders, effectively shutting down the largest route into Europe. The EU's wealth and freedom make it an attractive destination, and this is unlikely to change. The population is split on how to react to that. Some argue that Europe let in too many immigrants with a different culture without strictly demanding integration, while others argue that immigration is not the problem, but that racism and discrimination of immigrants is preventing integration.
Let me bite on that topic real quick. Run it back. Run it back. Hold on. Run it back for 2 seconds. Hold on.
Immigrants with a different culture without strictly demanding integration, while others argue that immigration is not the problem, but that racism and discrimination of immigrants.
All right. So we got two topics right there, right? Personally, for me, both of those are real. The discrimination is real. The racism is real. And people coming into your country and trying to throw their cultures at you is why are you telling me that? Watch. People also coming into your country trying to change your culture is also a real thing. But my perspective is this, man. As a person entering someone's country, you gotta try to be as much as that person as possible and not try to bring, like, let's say I'm from China, right? Don't try to enter into Denmark and try to make Danes do like Chinese culture. It's not fair for the Danes. They're gonna rebel against that because you're forcing that against them. Remember, you're going towards somebody's country, right? And for the ones who are that's their country, that's their motherland, they are not supposed to hate you just because you're from a different, country. They're supposed to try to accept you if you're rebellious towards their standards and beliefs. Then that's where the issue comes in, right? So I really do believe that as a person who is at a country, you should be welcoming to other people who want to actually live like you. But if they don't, then why are you there? That's my perspective. So it's there's no double standards with my perspective. I think that no, you should not be a racist or a hater of their culture or nothing like that. But they're not supposed to come and try to force their culture onto you. And they're supposed to be more willing and accepting of your particular culture, seeing that they're the ones coming to your country. That's what I think. No hate and no change of people's culture. That's what I think. Don't try to change somebody's culture when you're going to their country, and don't hate somebody just because they're trying to be like you.
Is preventing integration. To strike a balance between helping refugees, turning illegal immigrants away, and successfully integrating the ones that stay remains one of the most difficult and controversial challenges of the Union. Immigration aside, many more challenges lie in the future, like defense. Traditionally, European countries have relied strongly on the protection of the US through NATO. But in the current political climate, Europe has to ask itself if it really wants to depend on the United States for its safety. If combined today, the militaries of EU members could form an effective defensive force and be the third largest military in the world. That could save a lot of money, safeguard European borders, and enhance cultural understanding with soldiers from 27 different countries serving one common purpose. What about money? Well, it's complicated. The EU created the largest single market in the world. Inside it, you can trade border and customs free. Countries that entered it got a massive boost to their economies. Even between neighbours, trade increased by up to 500%, and there was a steady creation of new jobs. Research has suggested that joining the EU has left most new members with an average of a 12% higher GDP than if they had remained outside. And for those regions with weaker economies and poor infrastructure, EU institutions provide billions of euros every year, helping economic investment, infrastructure, and social development. On the negative side, the EU tries to hold together countries with vastly different economies and laws regarding labour, taxes, and social security. The cost of 1 hour of work in an EU country ranges from €4 an hour to €40 an hour. Some countries have large industries and strong exports, while others focus on services, tourism, or natural resources. On top of this, the euro is the common currency of some, but not all of these countries. As the Greek crisis shows, this can be a recipe for disaster. You cannot unify vastly different economies under one currency, but leave their economic policies separate. So, should all EU countries unite under the common currency or not? Should the weakest links be thrown out of the euro, or should countries be made to adopt common policies on taxes, healthcare, and social security? It's a question that's been brewing for years and is nowhere near a solution. So, everything briefly considered, is the European Union worth it? Here is our answer. The EU is very flawed and still needs a lot of work. But it's fair to say that the European Union makes Europeans powerful in the world. Put together, we lead in science, are one of the strongest economic powers, and could have one of the strongest militaries in the world. But more importantly, the EU gives us peace, security, and a sense of shared identity. And something we all crave in these turbulent times, stability. If we want to protect the values we're so proud of, a strong European Union is the best way to make sure our voice is heard in the world. Alone, as small states, we'll hardly stand a chance in a world of shifting superpowers.
Put Russia in that thing.
What do you think about the EU and its future? In recent years, the discussion about political topics has become super toxic with sad real-world consequences. Let's not do that. If you don't agree with this video, you're not our enemy, you just have a different opinion, and that's fine.
Wow.
We're all in the same boat after all, so let's have a fact-based discussion about our future.
Wow. I love the way how this guy actually put that out there. If you did not agree with this video, you're not our enemy. Like, for some reason, a lot of people who thinks that just because you didn't agree with them, you're their enemies or your enemies or whatever. Like, it's dumb, bro. So much hate. But this video was a beautiful video, and do I think the European Union is worth it? I think it is really worth it. I got a lot of work to do, particularly regarding the economy. I really do think that the European Union needs to build their military, to have a stronger military, and I really do believe that more of the European countries need to be participating in the European Union. And I really do think the European Union is a beautiful thing. I have my plans of Europe. I have plans with Europe for the future, God's willing. But what is the thing right now is that the racism, like he said, uniting with the refugees. I'm not sure where the refugees are coming from, but I personally have no issues with the refugees, but I really don't think that refugees should try to come in to change the European, countries. I don't think you should try to do that. If you want to keep your culture, keep your culture. I'll respect that, but don't try to change minds either, right? So that's that, and don't try to make other people in that country that you're coming to feel like trash. You know what I'm saying? But definitely the red flags, the racism, and the division with the European Union in terms of not transparency, the non-transparency, or whatever that word might be. Things like that, those are issues in the European Union, but I think it's a pretty good thing because, like he said, you know, the countries that made their money, the euros, they had a serious increase, right? I think he said 500% increase, I think, together, something like that, right? But it was a very beautiful video, and I do think the European Union is very useful. It's unfortunate that somebody left, you know, but yeah, it is what it is. But unity is a very powerful thing, and I think the European Union is a great thing to have. But either ways, guys, that's my 2 cents. If you don't agree, that's fine. Just tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.